Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Tuesday, the 5th of April 2022. Welcome to our Sudoku game. It's awful to wake up and see, another day, another horrific tragedy, and people murdered, etc., etc. If only people would play Sudoku instead of fighting each other, life would be much better, wouldn't it? Anyway, this is the Guardian medium level game. Now, medium level on Tuesday generally means easy, to be honest with you. A kind of beginner +1 is what I normally refer to it as. So if you are joining us today without much Sudoku experience, don't worry. I shall guide you through it, and we'll make this kind of tutorial. Generally on Tuesdays it's fairly easy, although I must admit from time to time they stick in a difficult one, just to keep us on our toes. But anyway, shall we get on and explain the rules of Sudoku before we do anything else? So you can see a large grid of 9 squares across and 9 squares down. You do not have to understand maths to understand Sudoku. It's just a game of logic. Now you can see, look, there are 5 numbers in a row here, and there are 4 empty squares. And the numbers you'll see range between 1, well in this case 2 and 8. We still don't have numbers 1, 3, 6 and 9, which need to be put into these empty squares so that we can complete the digits 1 to 9 in this row. Now the same thing will happen in these columns, every column, and then you can see these blocks, these outlined large boxes here of 9 squares where we fit numbers 1 to 9. Okay, so that's what the game is about. It's fitting 1 digit per square, sometimes called cells, into each square, and until we finish the game, much like a regular jigsaw. So for example, when we look at this block down here, I'll call it a block, we can see there's 6 in this column already, meaning no 6s can appear in any of the other empty squares in this column. We have 6 blocking across here, meaning these 3 squares cannot be 6. So look, we've got 6 blocking these 3 squares and 6 blocking these 3 squares. And we've just got 1 square left. Now if you find a 6 blocking this one, then you're in trouble because it means you've made a mistake. But of course there is no intersecting 6, because in fact that is exactly where a 6 must go. And now that we've placed that 6, we can say this 6 blocks all the way up this column. Let's look at this block at the top here, and this 6 blocks up here, so we can in fact place a 6 in this square because this block doesn't yet have a 6. Alright, so let's put 6 there, and let's keep on with this 6, keep on keeping on. 6 now is in fact it's the only digit in this row, so we can place all the other numbers except for 6, but we certainly know that 6 can't appear in these 3 squares here, and this 6 blocks up here, so 6 has to fit there. Right, got the idea now? Okay, great. So let's see, let me guide you a little and try to let you work things out for yourself a bit more. As soon as I see something, you should know that I don't play these games ahead of time, and I don't know the actual solution to the game until I get to the end alongside you. Right, now what I'd like you to do is consider this block here and think about the digit 3, because we don't have digit 3 in this block. So have a look. Finished? Okay, good, well done. Right, now you'll see that this 3 blocks up this column, and 3 blocks down here, so blocking up here, meaning, forbidding 3s up here and forbidding 3s down here, means that a 3 has to fit in that square there. Okay. Now we're going to do something slightly different this time. We're going to look at this column down here, and we are again going to consider digit 3. All right, but we're going to look at the we don't have a digit 3 in this column yet, so we're going to look at the intersecting squares here. Now, this one here, well, it's blocked by this 3 here. And this one here, well, it's blocked by this 3 here. So in this column, from these 3 empty squares, there is only one that is not affected by an intersecting 3. So we know that 3 must go there. Now generally what we will do when we see two empty squares like this, we'll work out what they are. In this case they are 4 and 7, but this time we can't tell which is which. We don't have enough information yet to say which is 4 and which is 7, so we have to leave it and forget about it. Not forget about it, but just don't worry about it for the moment, because we can't solve that particular conundrum just yet. We shall come back to it at a later time. Okay. Then look for something else, something that we can solve, something more productive. Okay, let's come back to this block here again, and then this time I'm going to get you to check out digit 7. Oh, you got it? No? Oh, now you have. Right, okay. So 7 blocks down this column here. So these 3 squares can't be 7, and this 7 blocks this square. So we know that 7 has to appear just there. Now, actually, staying on this block, you'll see this 4 here works up very nicely up here, knocking out these 3 squares, and so 4, in fact, has to fit in that square there. Normally at this stage, what we should do is work out the missing numbers. So the missing numbers here are 1, 5, and 6. 1, 5, and 6 are the numbers that we need to complete this block. Okay, 1, 5, and 6. You have to keep that in your head for a moment. 1, 5, and 6. 1, 5, 6. Got it? 1, 5, 6. 1, 5, 6. Right. Okay. Now, what we notice here is that actually 5 and 6 are in the same row. Now, this is very useful because we only have 3 numbers, and 2 of them are attacking the same square here. So this square can't be 5 and can't be 6. So what must it be? It must be a 1, because it was 1, 5, and 6 that were missing from here. So we now know that that's a 1. Right, as I said, I don't play these games ahead of time, so I've got to look around myself and try to find out what else I need. Ah, down here. Okay, check out the 3s in this block down here. Could have done this earlier. Some people like to focus on one digit and, you know, get everything sorted out. I tend not to play like that. I tend to play in a much more random way, but anyway. Right, you got it now. 3 blocking across here and 3 blocking across here. So, in fact, we know that 3 is in that square there. And now I want you to think about this block and think about digit 5. Well done. We've got 5 blocking across here, so 5 fits there. Now the missing numbers are 2, 4, and 7. Now we have an intersecting 4 up here and an intersecting 2 here. The 7 we don't know anything about. So we don't have enough information to place 2, 4, and 7, although it might be good for us to remember that 2, 4, and 7 are in this row and therefore can't appear here or here. Right, what else do we need? Yeah, in fact, let's do that. One of the missing numbers here is 2, right? Hang on to that thought. Now we have 2 blocking down this column here and 2 blocking down this column here, leaving only these 2 possibilities, right? 2 blocking down, 2 blocking down. We have 2 possibilities here. But if you remember, 2 is one of our missing numbers here. So it doesn't matter whether it appears in this square, or this square. It's got to block that square. So 2 has to be there. So I'm probably not looking in the right location. Sometimes you get stuck in one position for a while and you realize you're not making any progress, you're not finding anything new, so it's time to move your eyes elsewhere. Look elsewhere, find something else. Ah, okay, here's a good one for a learner to use. Right, now, do you remember when I said to you about the three, no, not those. Well, yeah, kind of. Whatever it was before anyway. Let's look at these four squares here, right? Missing numbers, as I said at the beginning, were 1, 3, 6, 9. We have 4 empty squares. To complete this row, we need 1, 3, 4. Sorry, we need 1, 3, 6, 9. 1, 3, 6, 9 must fit into these 4 squares. Now, if you look down here, what do we see? 1, 6, 3. Now, those are 3 of the numbers that I just mentioned. 1, 3, 6, 9 is what I mentioned. 1, 3, 6, and 9. So, this square here can't be 1, can't be 6, can't be 3. So, has to be 9 because that's the only one of the 4 empty squares that can be filled with a 9. Sorry, that's the only possibility left, I should say. After eliminating the 1, 6, and 3, we know that 9 must go there. Now the missing numbers in this column now are 2, 4, and 7. 2, 4, and 7. Now I think you're ahead of me, aren't you? Because this 2 and 4 are very close by. So if this square can't be 2, can't be 4, then it's going to have to be 7, right? And now that leaves us with 2 and 4 in these 2 squares. And over here we have a 4 blocking. So in fact the 4 goes there and the 2 is in that square. Look at this block here and tell me where the 9 goes. Go on, tell me. Thank you. Yes, the 9 blocks across here and the 9 blocks across here, so that leaves just one possibility where a 9 can go there. Now we're going to take that 9 that we just used and bring it down here and look at the possibilities down here. This 9 blocks down here like this, and there's a 9 intersecting here. So blocked and blocked, one empty square available. It's got to go there. Now let's take those 9s, or this 9 rather, and let's go across in this direction and see what you can see. We've already got a 9 here, so that should tell you something. Okay, well done. 9 blocking across here and across here, and 9 blocking down here. This has to be a 9 just there. Now we can find the 8 in this block here if we look carefully. Okay, 8 blocks down here, 8 blocks across here, so 8 is in this square here. Now I'm going to tell you that 1 is in this square, and I want you to imagine the answer why. I know that this square must contain 1, and I want you to think about the reason why. Have a look. This square contains a 1. I'm so confident that I'm going to write it in. And now you can tell me why, how I knew that was a 1. Okay, so I hope you got that. If not, don't worry, you will get there. This 1 blocks this square here, right? So in this block here, 1 must appear here or here. Can we tell which square? No, we can't. Don't know from up here, but it must be here or here. Whether it appears in either of these squares doesn't matter. It will block across here, so these 2 squares are out, and this one blocked across here, so that left only that square as a possible 1. This 4 blocks across these 2 squares, so 4 has to be placed there. The missing numbers here now are 2 and 7. That's what we need to complete this block, 2 and 7. Right, you're ahead of me already. You've got that 7 blocking there, so 7 goes here and the 2 is in that square there. Now that 7 is going to be useful because the 7 blocks across here, leaving just this square here where we can place a 7. Or you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blank square, 8, 9. So we know that 7 goes there. So you'll find very often in Sudoku there's more than one way to find the same answer. But there should only be this, there is only one answer. Now we can find this square here. I know we can get it, and the reason I know is because we have all of the others. Now these two here, this block is already placed except for these two squares, so we know what's in here or here. Maybe we can't say which is which, but we know which two numbers go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, no 5, no 6. So we know that 5 and 6 are here. Let's see if we can find them. No, we can't, but we know that 5 and 6 are here. Okay, so now let's count through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, in these two squares, 7, 9. So that has to be an 8 up there. Okay. You could have just said 8 blocks up here and 8 blocks up there, of course. An alternative way of finding the same information, as I just mentioned. Sudoku is often like that. This row here is lacking a 4, but we can get the position of the 4. Right, this 4 blocks here, this 4 blocks here, so 4 must be in that square there. And now we can get something down here, right? There's two things we can do. We can find the missing number from down here, and we can also say 4 blocks down here, 4 blocks down here. So 4 is here. The missing number in this column is a 7, and the last number that we need here is a 2. Now we'll take that 2 and say 2 blocking up here, 2 across here. So 2 fits in that square there. We don't have 7 in this block yet. Find it. Okay, 7 blocking across here, 7 blocking across here. So 7 goes here, and then we just need one number to complete this row. It's an 8. Let's put in the 8 there. This 8 blocks both of these two squares here, and we don't yet have an 8 in this block, so we can put an 8 just there. Right, one of the missing numbers here, okay, the two missing numbers here are 1 and 5. That's what we need to complete this block. And now we know that that's 1 and 5. We can do it either two ways. We can say 5 blocking here, so 5 is in this square. Or we could count through and say this is 1 and 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No 6 anywhere, so we know that 6 has to go there. 7, 8, 9 if you want to double check. And sometimes it's good to double check when you are playing beginner level Sudoku and at later levels too sometimes. It's good to check that you're on the right path and haven't made a mistake, because believe me, everybody makes mistakes in Sudoku. If anybody tells you they've never made a mistake or they don't make mistakes, even now in Sudoku, don't believe them. 8 blocks across here, 8 blocks across here, 8 blocks up here. 8 will fit there. What's left to get now? Not too much left. Couple of missing numbers here. This 4 blocks this square, so 4 appears there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no 6 anywhere, so we know that 6 has to be in that square. We'll take that 6 and say 6 blocking up here, 6 blocking across there. So that's a 6. Now we just have one number to get to finish this column, and it happens to be a 1. This 1 blocks right across here, so a 1 fits there. This 1 blocks across here, 1 blocks across here, so 1 is in that square. Now if you remember, maybe you don't, but missing numbers here were 1 and 5. So now we know the 1 can't go there, it must go there, and we know that the 5 is in that square. Now we only have one digit to complete this column. The missing number is 3. And now we have 3 blocking this square, 3 blocking this square, so we know 3 is there. We don't yet have a 2 up here. This 2 blocks that square, so 2 goes there. And 5 is the last number that we need there now. Just one digit to complete this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's right to the end. It's a 9. And now we only have one number missing for this block or this column. It's the same number. It's a 7. Right, tiny bit to do now. Missing numbers up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have 5 and we don't have 9. So we look down here for any. Yeah, there's one. 9 will stop that from becoming a 9. So 9 is there, 5 is there. This 5 blocks this square from becoming a 5. 5 is there, and to finish the grid we still need a 1, and that is today's medium level Sudoku. As I said, kind of easy plus 1. You might consider it like that. I hope you've understood today's tutorial if you are a complete beginner. And if you're a novice, let's hope you are practicing and improving your game and leading to the harder level games. That's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.